Anthem is at our doorstep and the community has a lot of questions. The devs have been going absolutely nuts in answering those questions over the holiday season. So what I'm going to do with this video is I'm going to go through a few of the very important answers, things like clans, difficulties, cross-platforms, the different abilities, gear, and more. But if you have a question that I don't cover, be sure to ask below and I will get to that. Also, I have a competition going to win a digital copy of Anthem on a platform of your choice, PS4, Xbox, or PC. All you need to do is follow the link below to enter. All right, so if you want to get through these questions particularly fast, you can increase the YouTube playback speed just over there. Yeah, you can increase it by double and you'll get through faster because I might be talking too slow for you. All right, let's start with the first question. So first one is, what is and how does the alliance system work in Anthem? Is it like a clan guild thing? And are there rewards for increasing the tier? Mark Dara says yes. So that's amazing. So if you have a big group of friends you want to make sure that you're always online with, you get rewards for playing with, and generally like being in that kind of setting, then there is something for you. So Michael Gamble has stated that there is an amazing fan community around this game, and there really is. If you want to be part of a fan community, you can join my Discord. I have thousands of people on it. We have our own Bioware Anthem section. We have tons and tons of people that are like-minded that you'll just love to talk to about games and Anthem in particular. So check that out if you really want to get into it. But other than that, let's move on. What will be the hardest thing to do in Anthem? So at launch, this is a key word, at launch, Ben Irving, one of the lead producers, says strongholds and legendary contacts. After launch, you'll see soon enough. So they have kind of big plans for this game. Strongholds are the raids. They're a 4-person raid, and that's where you get the best gear. Now, legendary contracts are what you can undertake when you are free flying around the world with your friends. You might find a legendary contract, you go out and do it, and you get hopefully legendary rewards. What will be the hardest thing to do post-launch? We don't know yet, but I'm guessing they're going to introduce some kind of raid, or they're going to introduce even harder things like shaped storms, which they hinted at, and we don't know exactly what they do, but I'm guessing it'll be a massive storm that you find out in the world. You fly into it and you get taken to an instance area. That's what I'm expecting. Let's move forward. How will the hover system of the storm work? Will it be longer or will it be able to... Sorry. How will be the hover system of the storm? It wasn't just me that fucked that up. It will last longer or it will be able to hover as long it have shield. I think it means as long as it has a shield. The hover lasts longer in the storm. While you hover, you get a damage resistant shield. So we've seen this a few times, but there is some miscommunication. In the original build, the storm hovered indefinitely. Now it doesn't because that was deemed a little too overpowered. It now just hovers longer than the other 3 javelins, and it gets a shield when it does hover. So you are encouraged to hover when you are in the storm. When the shield is taken down, you don't fall to the ground anymore as well. You just take a lot more damage. So let's move on. Are there any plans for cross-platform saves? I pre-ordered Anthem 2 days ago on Xbox, but I've also got friends on PS4 that I'd love to be able to play games with. If I'm able to keep my progress, then I'll buy on PS4 as well. Not at launch. Guys, there won't be any cross-platform saves at launch. Quite simply, it's very difficult to do. So they're looking into it. They're looking into doing some kind of... Look, let's be honest. PlayStation's kind of difficult with making cross-platform work. Xbox and PS and PC work together already. But if Bioware can get it happening, I'm sure they will. You said you think there was 100 7-year gear and weapons. Will you guys be adding more? And Ben Irving says, that's what I said about Masterwork and Legendaries, but yes, we will be adding more. So this is a clarification that there are quite a lot of Masterwork and Legendary items. With this amount, it leads me to believe there's at least one Masterwork and Legendary item for each weapon and each ability and a few for components. Now, Masterwork and Legendaries function like uniques do in Diablo and set pieces in Diablo, where they have a very powerful, unique bit of text that modifies the item. So for example, one item might say, while you are hovering, your cooldowns are drastically increased. So that would encourage you to hover more and it would cool your items down very fast. So that's what Masterwork and Legendaries have. They have that kind of property. So it's good to know that there are so many of those unique modifiers that will change the game up and how you play and what kind of builds you can have. All right. If someone drops out during a Stronghold, will the mission end, or can the remaining 3 players continue? They can continue. It will get backfilled. I believe it's a 2-minute timer, AFK timer. They have 2 minutes to reconnect and then it will try to backfill. So that means if your friend gets kicked out, it's probably better just to continue on and let him join when he can. If it gets backfilled with someone else, you can always jump out and probably make it again. And we have ways to play Anthem. I already made a video on this. If you guys want to see how you can play the demo, how you can play it for free, how you can play it early, all the different free-to-play kind of options, then check out my video in the description below. Okay, this is just going to give you a rundown of what you need and how you can play them. So once you reach a high level endgame, we'll lower level content scale so we can't slaughter them. Yes, but just to your pilot's level. You will have very high rarity, you will be very powerful. Now, what he means here, what Ben Irving means is that your pilot, your character, has their own level, and that goes up to level 30. That level determines the level of the enemies that you will be facing, or if you are a lower level with a high level group, it will scale to their level and you'll scale up to match that content. So the pilot, by leveling, gets to basically put points into a skill tree. But all the power comes from your gear. So let's say you're pilot level 1 and you have gear, you'll have gear level 1 because of that. You'll be power level 1. But if you've got a pilot level 30 and your gear is still in the 20s, you'll probably be only as powerful as the 20 level content. But inversely, if you're pilot level 30 and you have really powerful legendary or masterwork items, you will be absolutely slaughtering that content until you up the difficulty to something higher. So hopefully that makes sense. So, what javelins will we have access to in the demos? All. So they want us to have a good section of content to get through. They want us to really experience the game with the demo. So that means we will get the rangers to start with and we will be able to unlock the others to play them. However, just to clarify, the progress you make in the demos don't carry over to the real game. Only the progress you make in the early access will carry over to the full game. Any comment on why the ultimate skill button was changed from left bumper to and plus right bumper to D-pad down? This is mainly for console users. It seems like using the D-pad takes away from movement or looking around. Thanks. And this is because they've added a 3rd gear slot, and that 3rd gear slot is a defensive slot, so you can do things like pull up wind walls or make your whole team more powerful, or taunt if you're the Colossus. So there is a reason for that. So as we get closer to the release date, some of us have gotten to wonder about how long the story of Anthem will be. Are you guys able to give us an approximation of how long it might take to get through the story? And Michael Gamble, another lead producer, says, this is a good question, but tough to answer. Everyone is different. There's a lot of side missions, but some folks will just want to rush through the main story, then hit a few strongholds. It's a lot though. Personally, I've only played through everything a few times, so this leads me to believe it won't be as long as a typical Bioware game. It won't be, you know, your 40-hour plus story. I think it probably will be, from what I can see here, probably around 20 hours, maybe a little bit less, but there will be a lot of side missions, strongholds, other things like that that you can undertake. So if you rush through, I'm guessing it will be a shorter story experience for you. But games like this is all about the end game, what they call the Elder Game. The Elder Game is about getting groups with your friends and getting the best quality gear. So, is the crafting pretty confusing like other games, or is it going to be a little more simplified? Because if crafting is going to be a thing, hopefully the drops of materials will be generous. And Michael Gamble says, I think it's pretty simple. Blueprints plus resources equals a thing. That's it. You just need the blueprints, and then you go out and get the resources in the world, or you break down your existing items that you don't have any use for anymore, and you'll have a lot of those because as you level, items will start getting redundant. Or you might find stuff that just simply doesn't work with the build that you're going for. You break them down and you make other items. Very simple. There is a crafting system. Will you be able to change the appearance of your weapons along with your Javelin? I can't remember if you guys covered this in your Javelin personalization live stream. Not at launch. Weapons are uniquely individual. So this is something I want to cover because we've already seen, and if you haven't, link below, how customizable the Javelins are to the point of ridiculousness. You can make a fluoro pink Iron Man like suit with like a unicorn on it, right? But weapons can't be customized in that way. And the reason is weapons are already kind of unique when they spawn. So you will have an assault rifle, but if you get a masterwork quality assault rifle, it will be different. It will look different. So you'll kind of at a glance be able to see people's different weapons already. So you can't throw in customization to that, but it might be something they do post-launch. So we'll just have to wait and see. But how unique you'll look is going to be mostly your suit, not the weapons that you have, and the abilities that the suit has as well. We'll be able to play other classes in the VIP demo, just a ranger. We've been through this. You start with a ranger, but you get to see everything. All right, so this was asked quite a lot by quite a few people and the same person. Probably this was answered before, but will Anthem have a split screen couch co-op option? Yeah, no, it won't. I think that's a bit too difficult for a game like this. It needs a lot of screen real estate, but damn would it be good. I miss the days of having multiplayer be split screen and not be over the internet. That would be absolutely amazing, but sadly no. All right. Any chance that the demos will allow us to make use of the forge and get a taste of customization? It's arguably one of the tongue twister. It's arguably one of the coolest features in Anthem, and will be awesome to have in the demo, for sure. Okay, we'll get to try the forge out. We'll get a taste of customization. That's really good. Does it carry over to the full game? Does your progress carry over to the full game? No. Hey Mike, how far can we progress through the demo level-wise? So we start at level 10 and go to level 15. So we got a good 5 levels. It'll take us to about midway through the game. It's probably midway through the demo. So at least that's a good snippet of content. It's not right at the start where it'll be a short tutorial. It's not right at the end, so we'll spoil some stuff. It'll be right in the middle. Hey guys, I was wondering, will it be possible for us to start playing on a medium or even hard difficulty from the beginning or relatively early on in the game? Yes. So there will be 3 difficulties to start with. You have your kind of easy, your kind of normal, and your kind of hard at the start, and you can play all 3 of those until you get to the Elder game, in which 3 more difficulties unlock, and they are increasingly more difficult. All right. How do characters level up? In Anthem, your parts will gain experience and grow levels. We kind of went through this already. Through leveling up, your part will unlock skills that affect all Javelins. As you get better gear for your Javelins, gear score will get higher and your Javelin will do more damage and be able to sustain more damage. Very simple. Do you level up during a mission or free play? No, experience is decided at the end of an expedition. There is a social menu where you can see the level of players in your group. So you don't level up during free play or during the mission. You will level up at the end in the results screen where you see medals and other things. And by the way, if you unlock a medal, like say the medal is kill 50 enemies, everyone on your team will get that experience. Is there a form of character creation? Yes, there is. Do Javelins look different if my pilot is female rather than male? No, your Javelin does not change appearance based on gender. It changes appearance based on how you customize it. Very, very simple. Now, is there loot boxes? No. I have to hammer this in. There isn't. I get asked this so much. There will be things to purchase in game, but you will know exactly what you're purchasing before you buy it. Everything that you can purchase with real money can be earned in game. Now, my assumption is that the personalization section, which is how you make your Javelin look, all of the different components, that will be paid. You can buy those if you want, the different components. However, you can earn them in game. I think they will be rare to find. That would be fairly rare, and that is a way of encouraging sales. But it's not going to be loot boxed, and it's not going to be gambling. So that is a good thing. What about DLCs? Do I have to pay for those? No. Content post-launch will be included in the price of the base game. Now, this is mostly going to be small content. I'm sure down the line, if they have some big expansion with new Javelins and all that stuff, there'll be a DLC. Can I play solo? Yes, you can play solo through the whole game except for Strongholds, where you will have to play with a full squad of 4 players. Okay, in Stronghold, you need 4 players. It's simple because it's difficult content. It has the best drops. You need 4 players, but the rest of it, you can play solo or with 2 players or with 3 players. Is there matchmaking? Yes, there is a matchmaking available for all activities, and it's very simple to use. Does difficulty scale with the size of my squad? Yes, more players you have in your squad, the more difficult activities will be. So if you play with 1 person, things will be easier, but also be more difficult because you can't combo as well and all that stuff. But are loot and health ammo drops shared? No. All loot, health and ammo drops are instant, so there's no stealing of items. It is the same with, well, your weapons and your components that drop as well. They're all instant, so pick up everything you see. Can I play Anthem offline? No, you can't. You'll need an internet connection at all times. Will there be an option for local split screen? We've been through this. No, they will not. While I'm in free play, will I see anyone else? There will always be 4 people in a free play server. So you can free play by yourself. You can go off by yourself, but there might be other people that join into that server. Now, another question for Anthem. The pilot is the one that has a level, whereas the abilities are tied to Javelins, right? So what do you earn on leveling up? You get access to better loot is one thing. So if you're pilot level 21, you'll start to see level 21 loot. You get more powerful gear and weapons to equip. You also unlock things as you level up, both weapons, a 3rd gear slot, components, etc. So you don't start with 6 component slots. Those are things you can unlock within that skill tree, or even unlock as you level up. We aren't exactly sure how they're going to change it because things will change before release. If I have to leave an activity before the end due to any reason, will I still keep the loot I acquired? Yes. You'll get it when you complete a mission the next time you jump in. If someone drops out during a stronghold, will the mission end? No, the stronghold will continue. The position will be filled by someone looking into matchmaking. Okay. Is there a game storage limit for my items? Yes. Oh, no, sorry. Is there in-game storage for my items? Yes. You'll have a vault in Fort Tarsus where you can store your items. So, of course, there has to be, right? Is it a crafting game? Yes. Is it PvP and Anthem? Not at launch. And they're focusing around making it very focused on PvE. Making it focused around being focused. That's stupid. But they're focusing around PvE, and putting PvP in makes the PvE less able to be as explosive, so to speak, because you need to have everything balanced. Right now, there isn't PvP. There might be at launch. Is there friendly fire? No. How are you guys? Appreciate all the answers you guys are giving us. Is there any kinds of skill combos, like say the Colossus uses a flamethrower on a Storm's wind wall to create an elbow firewall, or are no skill combos like that? Are there no skill combos like that? Not like that, no, says Ben Irving. So the way combos work is that there are priming abilities and there are detonator abilities. The priming abilities are things like a flamethrower will set an enemy alight. Being alight means they're primed. And then if you use something like an explosive mortar, which detonates, you'll get a combo. Based on what Javelin you're in, you'll get a different kind of effect. If you're in the Ranger, the combo effect will just do extremely high single target damage to whatever you comboed on. If you're in the Colossus the combo effect will set off an explosion to do high damage to those around the target that you comboed. With the interceptor, if you get a combo, you won't do anything extra to the target, but you yourself will get an aura of whatever was primed on the target. So if you prime them with fire, you'll get a fire aura. If you prime them with ice, you get an ice aura. With the storm, whatever you prime on the target will spread to other targets. So the storm is good at setting up a lot of primed targets with their combos. So that's how combos work. All right. Is there a better chance for stronger items to drop from a boss, or is the same chance if you kill a basic scar and the boss at the end of that stronghold? Better. We also spawn chests at the end of certain encounters once you defeat the final thing or boss. So, very simply, the best gear in the game will be the hardest, probably, content, right? It will have a higher chance of spawning in an area that is more difficult. However, you can still find your legendaries or your masterwork in areas that aren't strongholds. It'll just be slightly more rare. Will you be able to dismantle weapons, accessories, or support equipment and get material out of it for crafting new higher level things maybe? Or is there any kind of fusion system to enhance low level equipment? Yes, you can salvage items for crafting materials, not yes to the fusing system. I don't think there's a fusing system, but you can salvage items for crafting materials. Like I said, if things are getting out leveled, you break them down, you make better stuff. It's quite simple. Next thing. If you get the best loot from running the hardest difficulty and not different missions, what's stopping people from running the easier missions just on the hardest difficulty? So you get an increased chance for better loot by picking harder content and harder difficulties. So the hardest content on the hardest difficulty is the best way to get the best loot, but efficiency plays a factor here, of course. So let's say you're playing the easiest content, but on the hardest difficulty, and you can run through 2 of those before you can run through 1 of the hardest content on the hardest difficulty. And let's say the chance of dropping is 3% on the easier one, and the chance of dropping is 5% on the harder one. You might as well run 2 of those easier ones. So efficiency is a key. Hi Ben, I was wondering, can you save multiple loadouts for each Javelin so you can swap between them with a button press or something like that? Yes, you can save multiple loadouts, and they went through that on the gear customization live stream, and I've been through that in the video below. Basically, you can make a lot of different builds, including how you personalize, how your javelins look, completely personalize how they look and what abilities and weapons they have equipped, and you can make them different for every loadout. So say, for example, you have a Colossus and you want a fire-based flamethrower build where you get up close and taunt and do a lot of up-close damage. You might put flame decals on your Colossus and make him all red and intimidating. But then you have another Colossus that is all about long-range mortars, however you want to pronounce that. You might make him look completely different. Might be black or camo or something like that. So you can switch between those easily with a button press. Will the interceptor aura stack or just last longer when killing prime targets? You can only have 1 aura and it will take the last combo that you did. So let's say something is primed with fire, you combo, you get the fire aura, now you're doing fire aura damage to everything, and then you detonate some other combo and it's ice, your fire aura will be replaced with ice and the duration will be, from 0 to whatever it was again. So if it's a 30-second aura, let's say, and the fire aura was 15 seconds into it, you'll just get another 30 seconds when you replace it, but with fire. All right, so we knew we wanted to create an experience that you come back to over and over again, that you can engage in a much longer way than traditional games like Mass Effect or Dragon Age. We're going to get into a bunch of details, how exactly we're going to support our live service, and I think it's exciting and different than a lot of things you have seen before with other games. But the stuff I can talk to is what you saw in the live stream today. It was really tantalizing to look at those masterwork and legendaries, and chasing those is half the fun. Doing stuff like our Stronghold, which is super challenging content that takes a well-coordinated squad to play those at higher difficulty settings. As you're progressing through the game, you'll have an easy, normal, hard difficulty setting, but once you reach a certain level, you will be able to unlock what we call Grandmaster difficulties. And attacking these strongholds, a Grandmaster will start dropping these amazing legendary weapons. We've created a place to chase these with strongholds. We also have repeatable legendary contact from agents that will also be a great source of ultra rare legendary loot. And this is going to be a piece, just a little piece of the fun of the Elder game. So I didn't read that out completely correctly. I was trying to rush through, but basically saying that the best stuff is Elder game. To get the best gear, to get the best content, which we've mentioned, it's all going to be that kind of gear chase. It's going to be like Diablo in that a lot of the fun is going to come from getting those awesome items and making an awesome Javelin. So they have things planned after launch for even more content. So we're not going to burn through it anytime soon. Can we get some insight into how blueprints fit into the gameplay loop before launch? So it'll be complete a challenge, earn a blueprint, craft with a blueprint plus materials, philosophically meant to fill gaps in your build. So basically, if you don't have a particular item that you want, you use the blueprint to fill that. But my assumption is the best gear in the game will not be able to be crafted. Legendary stuff will not be able to be crafted. Quite simple. At various levels, you can unlock them in any order you want. First choice is at level 2, and this is how Javelins are unlocked. Can I get the Storm as my first Javelin? So yes, you can. At level 2, you can get the Storm, or you can get the Colossus, or you can get the Interceptor. You make that choice at level 2. All right, you can unlock them in any order that you want. So make the choice what of those 3 besides the Ranger you would like first. And level 2 comes pretty quickly, by the way. I'm not sure, let's start with the question. How many exotics and legendaries are there in the vanilla game? We've been through this already, but about 100. 70-ish gear and weapons and a bunch of components. So 30 components and 70 spots of gear and weapon. It's quite a lot when you think about it. If you actually think about how much that is quite a lot. All right, question about weapons. Are there different types of, say, auto rifles, faster and more spastic versus slower and more accurate but hit harder, or only rolls of abilities and perks on the auto rifle type archetype? All right. So let me explain this simply. There's assault rifles, but there might be, say, 3 different kinds of assault rifles. There might be one that fires fast and hits hard. There might be one with explosive bullets, and there might be one that has burned through a clip very quickly. And then those will have different legendaries and masterwork versions of them. So there are different types. Let's say the Colossus grenade launcher. The Colossus is a unique grenade launcher that can only be equipped by Colossus because it's a heavy weapon. Will have different kinds of grenades it can fire. It can perhaps fire a sticky one, or perhaps fire one that clusters, for example. So there will be different kinds of weapons within the subsection of weapons. Now, regarding elemental damage, ice, freezes, fire, burns. What are acid and lightning's roles? And are there types beyond those 4? So acid debuffs and makes creatures take more damage. So it like burns away their armor essentially and makes them take more damage. So it's really good against bosses. And electricity causes AoE around the creature. So electricity just like kind of sparks off and hits creatures around it. And fire does damage over time, and ice freezes them in place or slows them down. So freezing is kind of your crowd control. There we go. Do you ever feel like you're finally more powerful than content bit by bit in Anthem? I always hate the feeling of getting amazing gear for enemies just for it to scale right up, making the upgrade seem really pointless. And Ben just says yes. You do feel more powerful, and we've seen this in practice because during the dev live streams, they've thrown on some masterwork gear, not legendary, masterwork gear, gone into normal content, and they've absolutely destroyed it. Absolutely destroyed it. And then they pumped the difficulty up and they started to get their ass kicked. So yes. Yes is the answer. So that is the final question that I wanted to run through. Guys, if you still have any questions for me, be sure to ask me below. There's a lot I can answer. Be sure to jump into my Discord too if you want to ask me things directly or want to talk to other like-minded individuals. If you want to win that copy, follow the Gleam link below. Gleam is a very reputable competition service. Basically what that means is all of the entries into the competition the winner will be decided based on the platform, not based on me. So the winner will be emailed from the platform. So I have absolutely no say in who wins. There's no favoritism, and it's going to be gravy. Somebody out there is going to get to play the game early. All right. So that is everything. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully, if I've covered everything that you kind of wanted to go through, if not, once again, let me know. Ciao.